Ariel Helwani, man? Everyone wants to everyone wants our take on this. So, for those of you that live under a rock, or maybe you were flying, or who knows what you're doing, but you missed it. So Ariel Helwani reported before the UFC that Brock Lesnar was returning at UFC 200. His sources got to him before the UFC could release it, and so he released it on his timeline with MMA Fighting.
He's an independent journalist.
Yeah, he doesn't work for the UFC. He doesn't work for Fox. Most say that's good reporting. I don't know. So he releases that, and then I listened to Ariel talk this morning on Dan Patrick. Then two people from PR, Ariel's sitting down, he's cage side, reporting for the Fights Live. It's the main event, and they go, Ariel, Dana wants to talk to you in the back. And Ariel's like, it's the main event. Can I talk to him after? And then they're like, oh, okay. So someone leaves. Now two guys come back, like, Dana really needs to see you in the back. And he's like, all right, well, I'm bringing my camera guy with me, because he didn't want to go alone. Maybe he thought he was going to get murked like Goodfellas or some shit like that. So he goes back, and he says, Dana's like, beat red. And it's like, Lorenzo fucking hates you. All you do is report negative news. You're banned for life. Get the fuck out of here. And they escorted Ariel out. So he's banned for life. He said, go fucking report Bellator or something like that from now on. Good luck with that. But as far as the UFC, you're done. He said, Lorenzo hates you.
How is it? I'm surprised that he's what is the legal justification? You can throw somebody out of an event that you're promoting?
Of your own event?
Yeah.
It's privately owned. Oh, yeah.
So you can.
And you can strip him of his media.
But wouldn't
if he bought a ticket, it's different.
Right.
He's there with media credentials for
Right.
the UFC.
Yes.
So they give media those credentials.
Okay.
Now they can take
So
those
they
away.
give you your
He did not
credentials.
purchase a ticket. Now Ariel can still go to the events if he purchases a ticket.
Right,
He
because
can't
he's-
report
because-
from the media
because-
scrum.
The only thing about that also is that I wonder whether or not when the UFC gives you a media pass, whether there are censorship stipulations, because I don't think there are. So
No,
in other words,
you can't have.
So you
They do them based off good merit, like you're good with this. There you
Okay,
go.
but then-
and then he reported live, and they said, "Fuck that, we've had enough of this."
But then if you're kicking someone out based on something that actually isn't a broken rule, it just pissed you off. That's interesting. That's an interesting legal quagmire.
But
Yeah.
what legal? What are you gonna assume that it's the boys' club? It's a
Yeah.
good old boys' club.
Yeah.
So you and I own the Fight and the Kid. There's someone sitting right here talking shit, and you go, you know what? You're banned for life from the studio. Get out of here. We're not breaking any laws. I own this.
Yeah.
We own this.
Yeah.
This is our event.
Yeah.
See ya.
It's
So-
like having a restaurant or something. We're not
Yes,
gonna start
exactly.
Yeah,
We refuse
you can
service
revoke
to
those.
anyone.
You can revoke those at any time.
This is the
privilege. Not
this
a
is
right.
the thing. Whether you hate Ariel, whether you disagree with him, whatever you think of his work, take all that out of it. This is the issue. Now you're censoring what the media is going to say about the UFC. You're only having people report positive things on the UFC, which isn't real. That's not the real world.
It's also not going to work.
But it is working. And this is why it's working, because the MMA's, it's not a big enough sport with these other outlets like the Dan Patrick show or Colin here, the Herd, all that. Those guys aren't reporting on this. They don't give a fuck. The sport's not big enough.
Yeah.
So when you censor the media outlets and they only report good stuff, it helps shows like us, because we should just rename this show The Real Take with Brendan Bryan, because everyone else is getting honey-dicked.
Yeah.
Because Ariel, for a long time, had to censor everything. Everything was positive towards the UFC, all that stuff.
Right.
Because they were paying his bills.
Right.
They don't pay our bills. They have nothing to do with us.
Right.
I can say whatever the fuck I want. There's no repercussions. You cannot shut us down. So for Ariel, and if I'm Ariel, I haven't heard him on his show MMA Fighting. I heard it's very heartfelt, and he says, this was his life, blah, blah, blah. It sucks you can't go to events. It's not that big of a deal. Who gives a fuck? This is what you do, Ariel. You get a pen and a paper out. This is what you do. You're one of the only guys who have access to every fighter on the roster. Everyone respects you. You have all the access. He has all insider info. That's how he gets all this shit, right? Yeah. That's how he gets breaking news. Mm-hmm. What you do is forget about those interviews at the arena where it's, oh, great fight tonight. How'd you feel? What's next? We've seen that shit. I can watch UFC tonight. Every reporter who has a brain can do that. You're different. You have skills. What you do is on Monday morning, you call it the morning after pill, or you call it the hangover with Ariel Helwani, and you get the top fighters who won and come on your show.
Problem with that is this. Dana White tells his fighters, you're not allowed to talk to Ariel Helwani.
He won't do that.
How do you know?
The UFC publicist won't line up interviews with Ariel Helwani. Ariel has his own private connections, just
But
like we do.
I have a feeling that if Dana puts out one memo, which is, hey, you guys, any of you talk to Ariel Helwani and you're going to pay for it or you're going to get cut, nobody's talking to Ariel Helwani. So he does.
Yeah, he runs it like North Korea. However, let's say he doesn't.
Yeah.
Let's say he just banned whatever, go do your thing. I don't think he's that vindictive. He probably is. If you're Ariel, you can take advantage of this because now everyone's on your side.
Yeah.
You just got bullied like I've never seen before.
He's
You
also
just-
that's
you
what
just
we're
got-
talking about.
You just got kicked out of the club for nothing, for doing your job.
Yeah.
So now, again, it puts more light on Dana. It's like that movie Spotlight or where the fuck it is. It just puts more light. Like, God damn. Yeah, man. There's a reason people speak out. There's a reason why people are like, what the fuck is going on here? And for Ariel, he can take advantage because everyone's on his side. You do the morning after show. You call it the morning after pill. You call it whatever, rehab or recovering with Ariel Helwani, whatever. And you get the top guys and you get into some deep shit, man. That's your show. There you go. Fuck being at the fights and doing the normal. What's next? How'd you feel?
Right.
That's lame.
Right.
Anyone can do that.
Right.
It's not that big of a deal. I don't get why it's that big of a deal to him. I don't get it.
I think anytime you get fired, anytime it's your life and you get fired or something like that, that's,
But I'm saying,
that's emotionally.
but he
involved.
can. I agree. It's a hit to his
Who
ego,
knows
and it
what
sucks.
Dana said? Because Dana's pretty emotional and probably pretty verbal.
But Ariel's not an alpha guy. You take me to the back like that and you talk to me, they're like, oh my God, Dana got his ass whooped by Brendan Schaub.
Right.
You're not going to talk to me like that.
Right.
No one on this planet can talk to me like that. I also don't benefit from doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't benefit from reporting good news about the UFC. We benefit because we give you the real truth. Brock Lesnar, the reason Brock Lesnar
That's what
fighting,
journalism is. Good journalism is telling it how it is.
but now if you do and you're with the UFC, you're out. Everything has to be positive.
Here's the devil's advocate. Just a question.
I knew you were going to do this. Go ahead.
Is there?
I knew he was going to back up Dana.
Was this Brock Lesnar thing? It was big news. Did Ariel, do you think, know that the UFC had a timeline for when they wanted to release it, and he got the information through inside sources and decided to essentially undercut all the other news and everybody else and break
Are you
it?
talking about breaking news? That's what every reporter does. That's what every reporter does.
Right.
So Adam Schefter with the Broncos or whoever, he gets news from his insiders. He released it before any.
Where did he
NFL team
release it? Where did he give it to?
He just did on his phone, his Twitter. And also Brock Lesnar, they saved a lot of his interviews that were on SportsCenter. The UFC didn't talk about him being on SportsCenter till now. He was on there before, shot that earlier. They were waiting for something. So if you're Ariel, you have this huge nut. And you're a reporter, and you bank on breaking news from you. What? I would 100% done the exact same thing.
Well, sure,
Only
because
thing
you're a
different,
journalist.
If Dana came in the back and talked to me like that, I would have slapped the fuck out of him.
Well, but
Now, I'm not saying it wouldn't be a little bit of a tussle.
what do you mean?
I mean,
Hold on, a tussle?
What if he whooped my ass?
Now wait a minute.
What if I was like, "Hey, man," they whooped my ass and filmed
he's
it.
like, hey,
And then
hey, he's like, Brendan, get the fuck out of here right now.
Then
You,
it's like-
hey, babyface with your fuck me boy haircut. Get the fuck out of here right now. I'm Dana White.
It's
Get out
fuck
of here.
boy, not fuck me, boy.
I mean,
God damn
hey,
it.
don't correct me, bro. I'm the president of the UFC. Get the hell out of here.
He did train for Tito Ortiz.
Saw him
so-
last night. He looks very thick. Careful. He looks pretty thick.
Again, not Arnold Schwarzenegger thick. No. Adele thick. Let's not get it twisted.
Adele
here.
thick?
It's Adele thick. He's not in shape.
He's trapped out.
very beat
He's got
red.
some traps.
He's built like my brother.
He's very red right
Built
now.
like my brother.
Yesterday he was very red
I wonder why he gets red.
because he had to do stand up and his arms were sweating. He was like, dude, my arms are sweating. He was dying.
Yeah, it's tough. But again, Ariel just needs to keep
Wait a
doing this
minute.
thing. It's not as
It'd be a little tussle.
maybe. I don't know, man.
I like
What if he
tussle
whooped my ass?
because tussle sounds like you know what I think about with tussle? I think about you getting under his arms and just tussling him up a little bit,
Like, yeah.
like a little shoving match, and then gets into a chest on chest thing.
Yeah, I don't know. He'd have his goons there. You know, he rolls around with his bodyguards.
It's a big boy, some big guys.
Not worried.
No,
I mean, we'd be in a scuffle. All I'm saying is it sucks for Ariel, a guy like that. I've always stuck up for bullies, man. Even elementary, middle school, high school, college. It's just it's a form of bullying at its finest. At the
you know who
biggest
does
level.
that stuff? Vladimir Putin.
Yes.
Vladimir Putin tells independent journalists that he kills them.
He kills them. A
He
little
kills
different.
them. but he gives them death threats and also tells them to stop. And if you're going to censor the press,
it's just a
sets a very bad precedent.
Take away Ariel, whether you like him or not, all that stuff. It makes the sport. It sets us back, whether you realize it or not. It's very small minded because when you do that, you're setting the sport back.
Well,
think about the NFL.
I was going to ask you. Does the NFL or the NBA or the MLB ever do that?
Never.
They never do that.
Never. You can't.
You can't.
Because
they have writers and independent press.
Yes,
pool.
they can write whatever they want. You can't have only. And again, this is for me. It's a black eye for the sport because now we're one more step towards the WWE. Now remember, the UFC's business plan is nothing new. They are not breaking news here. This is not a new concept. They're following the model of the WWE. It's been done before. It's exactly what they're doing. From the UFC Fight Pass, WWE did first. For the signings, these big announcements, it's all been done before. They're not doing anything revolutionary here. So when you start, and WWE does the same thing with the media. So when you start doing that, I'm like, fuck, because we're headed back to that direction. And then with the news of Brock Lesnar now, you got that. And then I think, is it true CM Punk's fighting at 202 now?
I have no idea. That's not confirmed at all.
It's not confirmed?
No.
That'll be interesting.
Some little birdie told me that he's fighting at 202.
Now